All right. Well, this is Cabin Conversations, a regular podcast here at Woodlands Church. We're just jumping right in.
I thought I had a second there.
No, we're doing it.
Mid-yawn.
I'm Dave here with co-host Yanni Swinson.
I'm up. I'm up.
No, hi, Whitney. How you
Hi,
doing?
Dave. Good.
Good. Life just feels crazy in a lot of different ways. And this is moving into the holiday season, which is just fun and also a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But merry holiday, happy season.
I have appreciated the fact that I think you have converted to this, and I think Justin Armstrong helped us understand that we're in the Christmas season now. It's snowing, and that Thanksgiving is a holiday within the Christmas season.
We started putting Christmas stuff up.
We can do that and not feel, oh, you're not converted.
I'm not. I'm tentative. Like there has been. Oh, I hate. There has been some Christmas music at my house.
Okay.
Because in a large part we're acquiescing to my son, who is all about the Christmas vibe right now, and we're doing some initial Christmas decorating. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I am content with the phrase that Thanksgiving is a holiday within the Christmas season. Mm-hmm. I'm content with that. It doesn't mean that I'm fully there.
Sure.
If that makes sense. So
yeah, we have 3 Christmas trees up already. So
yeah, your wife went kind of crazy.
She is,
though,
yeah.
So.
Halloween's over, it's Christmas.
Yeah.
I was always wait till Thanksgiving and get everything going.
A man of principle and character.
Yeah. but since moving up here, it gets so cold and you don't know what snow's gonna do.
Right.
That it makes a little bit of sense of trying to get at least the outdoor stuff taken care of before Thanksgiving.
I am still firmly in the camp of Justin that we should move Christmas to mid-February.
Yeah.
And then after Thanksgiving, it can be Christmas season.
Yeah.
And for
you have months.
Yeah, you have months, and we just get to enjoy it.
Yep.
I mean, the litany of music that we get to enjoy that gets
condensed because you're not willing to expand your Christmas
Yeah.
season.
Well, no, because principle and character again. So, hey, our guest this week is Colton.
Hi, guys.
Our creative arts ministry leader, which is summarized as Camel.
Yes, Camel.
Oh, I like that one.
So,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was an accident, but it was a happy accident.
We're glad to have you on. You were mentioning this is his first time on the season.
Yeah, this is I'm used to the table, so I'm getting used to the couch.
Yeah. I think did we cancel one of your previous scheduled?
I don't know if it was after this setup, but we've had to cancel 1 or 2 before.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, glad to have you on for season 5.
Mm-hmm.
This has been the best season so far.
Yeah.
On board with that. And we would like to start off with a question from the sermon resources.
The sermon resources. Would you rather, there's 2 questions. Neither of them are great, so I'm going to punt.
Okay.
Because my daughter so we just had parent-teacher conferences on Monday, and she is having the best time in her English class this year because her teacher starts off with an attendance question that stirs up debate amongst all of her
Like it gets
friends.
spicy?
It gets, but about dumb things. Like stripes or polka dots, which is dumb. How do you eat your ice cream? Here's the real question that
Give it to me.
How many options are
Do
there?
you lick it or do you bite it?
Oh, okay.
Ice cream?
Mm-hmm. That's not the question.
Yeah, not the question.
The
Doesn't
question
matter.
is, if there's something you could uninvent, what would you uninvent?
If I could uninvent anything.
Hallmark movies.
Oh,
come
don't
on.
Don't give me my answer. That's a great one though. If I could uninvent anything, I feel like I'm going to sound like a hypocrite because I use it so much, but probably social media.
Oh,
That was one of the main
set the
answers
world free.
in her 8th grade classroom.
Yeah, what that was the number one answer?
That was the number one.
Yeah, I think that would be mine. I use it all the time. I try to be strategic with it.
They're not the same, but they were.
Yep.
No, yeah, smartphones and social media are 2 very different things.
Yep.
Both dangerous
Yep.
in their own right.
Yep. Interesting.
Plastic was number 3.
Plastic. Oh.
Isn't that wild?
Why? I mean, I understand the environmental
That's gotta be
So
why.
much detrimental things that are happening.
There's so much positivity with plastic too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much of
Got
what
water in this plastic.
Now it's in your cells, so whatever.
Microplastics. Yeah, I recently, like a month ago, I uninstalled Facebook from my phone, and then I got logged out of it on my browser, because what's happened in the past is I've uninstalled it from my phone, but then I've still had access to it on my browser, which is good because you don't have the reels in the same way or whatever. But I lost the password somehow, and my password, so I can't get logged in.
Nice.
It's awesome. It's fantastic. I have been appalled by how many times I open my launcher and type FAC, which is how I would get to, like, just habitually.
Yep.
And it's been a month and it still happens. There's this habit of just habitual opening of this app.
Yep.
There's no reason for it.
Yep.
But now, because it has to happen on the browser, like, I'll go for days without checking it. And then I'll check it and be like,
oh, this wasn't
I
that
missed
good.
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what a gift the freedom of that is.
So I haven't stepped away from Facebook yet, but I did just recently. I never used Snapchat, but I have like a family group in Snapchat that Kayla's family's involved in. So I go in there every once in a while and talk with them. But I got rid of Snapchat and Instagram. And I noticed with Instagram, I used it a lot, but not to post. I really just like doom scrolled. And I was like, I could stop doom scrolling here. I use Facebook. I chat and stuff a lot on there. So I got rid of Instagram and Snapchat, and I did it on my phone, and it changed like the order of all of my apps in my social box. And very similar to that, I always go and immediately, because I doom scroll Instagram, I'll click on whatever spot it used to be in.
Yeah.
And then I go to some, just something random all of the time. So I've been having to train myself not to click there immediately whenever I open up the social box.
Habits.
It's weird.
crazy. Yeah. The regular habits.
But
that
what
we
was your
develop.
first response? Is like, just release everybody, like freedom, release from captivity.
Yeah.
Right? Like what social media, if we
It really
get rid
would
of
be.
it. Yeah.
My daughter, at the high school she's going to, they lock phones during the day. You don't have any access to your phones. You have them with you, but they're in this pouch that's magnetically sealed. And I asked her, I said, so has it been good to be phone free? And she's like, I hate that it's so good. Just the interactions. I've talked to a couple teachers, and they just said the interactions, the opportunities that, it's how childhood should be, 9th grade, 10th grade. And so it is phones to an extent, but social media to such a different
The thing
extent.
I realized about phones, somebody said this a long time ago, but it's coming back up into our family just recently, is phones are doing things that used to be public in a private way. So I used to have to talk to you on the phone if I wanted to tell you something. Now I can text you. Nobody has to know what's happening. And so, like, fine, it's not like I can text you and that's not a big deal. But what we realized in our family just recently, it came back up, is like, we can be in the car together and I'm doing something on my phone. It might be worthwhile doing, but nobody knows what I'm doing.
Yes.
And so it looks like I'm just checking out of the conversation. And so our new thing in our car is you're not using your phone, and if you have to use it, you have to say what you're using it for. So I'm responding to the text message that just came through from my mom. That's what I'm doing. Or I'm checking the weather.
Interesting.
It's not just I'm grabbing this just to like mindlessly do whatever, or actually do something specific, but nobody else knows what's happening, because we're trying to foster back this environment of interacting with one another in the car. It's like this perfect environment to have conversation.
I've noticed that
blow it.
in my kitchen, I'll be responding to a text from my mom, and my kid will come up and start talking to me. And what's happening is I'm being interrupted. But my kid doesn't know that she's interrupting me, because all I'm doing is I'm on my phone. And so I love that idea of broadcasting what we're using our phone for, especially if we're in a public place.
Great word.
So that it like, because I should have the right to respond to a text from my mom, like without being interrupted. But if you don't know what that is.
But also do it kindly. I will find myself being interrupted and being snappy about it. So it's more like, hey, so if I'm just, let me finish this message. I'm actually in conversation with somebody right now. It doesn't look like it, but can I finish this? And then I do want to hear what you have to say, but this isn't it.
The intentionality of knowing how your actions are being perceived as you use stuff. Wow.
Particularly as Brian and I are continually withholding a phone from her. Like she is now literally the only one that she knows doesn't have one. That's her age. So we get to, I'm like, let's drill it down. We can put them down a whole lot more than we do.
It'd
be healthy for all
It's good
of
to
us.
model.
So
this Sunday, John pivoted last minute. I mean, he said it. Did he say it in both services? I know he said
I
it.
caught him in second service.
10:30.
Yeah.
in the first service, he said he pivoted the night before.
That's what he said in second service too.
It was
So he
9:30
did
the
it
night
in both.
before.
Which I was then shocked that we had slides.
Hey, our tech team's awesome.
They got on it.
Yeah.
Yep. A whole conversation we had in our last meeting. Yeah.
John and I were texting about it Saturday night about whether or not to switch, and just, we can get into that a little bit.
Sure.
But our tech team's awesome. And that's one of the things I told him. I said, our tech team will be able to handle it. I said, our
group life leaders.
Say what you said.
Group life leaders were left hanging.
He was like, Colton won't like it.
Colton will hate it. But Stevie and Devin, the guys who do the slides, will.
So I didn't know about it until John announced it on Sunday morning.
Sure. Well, that's a good way to handle it.
So just keep them out of it. But the implications, I mean, just even stretching that out and getting into it a little bit, the implications of what shifts when, and I think everyone would agree, we have to leave room for the Spirit to change and adjust and lead. And as John and I were processing, I was just humbled by his heart to carry the congregation along appropriately in the 20 minutes. So there were 4 different festering wounds he was going to land on. And he was like, I just feel like I'm picking at scabs and then walking away. Like 20 minutes is enough time to begin and finish something, which is accurate and appropriate. And so forgiveness is such an important thing. But the ripple effects, group life leaders that use sermon-based resources and kind of processing those things, everything's kind of tossed up in the air as a result. So
and as we talked about, particularly in a series that's thematic, we're not sitting in a book of the Bible, so there's not a specific passage. When you switch from it, like it was Psalm 38, and now we're in a different part of we're in Matthew. So so there's just they could switch to we just didn't.
Yeah, if we had the passage, you could inductively study it, you could process it or stuff like that. Even Sunday Bible study, I know, studied Psalm 38, and then they would have gone in and they would have been like, okay.
Yeah.
So you just lose stuff. But that's part of the tension with a topical series. And
topical, that's better than thematic.
Yeah. But this has been a really, really valuable series. And so
it's been a great series.
We're in Matthew 18, the parable of the unforgiving servant, which is just this weighty, heavy, punchy, profound, vivid. It's such a vivid parable. It's one of my favorite parables. Colton, you had said that you heard from someone from the congregation kind of processing afterwards.
Yeah, I got a text message from a friend that was in service on Sunday. And it was like, there was a time when I was in accounting. I think he said accounting. And he was like, I was wondering if I was like crunch the numbers of what this servant really owed their master. Like what was that? And so I won't get into all the nitty gritty mathematics in it, but there's like how much this weighed, time and measure and all this sort of stuff that kind of equated to this guy owed his master somewhere around $10 trillion.
It's close to my credit card debt.
Yeah, hopefully not. If it is, we'll talk after this.
I'm just totally kidding. Sorry. I don't have that.
It's like, could you imagine owing someone that much?
Don't even have like a category in my mind what trillion looks like, or billion
not at
for
all.
that much.
Yeah.
Right?
I can't even put in my mind how many zeros that is. Like,
I just read an Atlantic article about the fact that numbers are too big. Like we don't have categorical ways to handle the financial numbers that are getting bandied about, $38 trillion national debt and stuff. It just doesn't compute.
Yep.
So $10 trillion is
$10 trillion.
Yeah.
And then to take that back a step and realize what Jesus was actually communicating there is, our sin and the problem of sin, like, is so deep and such a problem that we really couldn't pay back in our sin, and Jesus releases us of that, and that's wild to think about. That's what that was part of what was being communicated there, is just what forgiveness is, and it goes into the whole hope portion of what John was communicating on Sunday as well. It's like there is hope, and that's so big.
It strikes me that that recharacterizes that parable to an extent. Because one of my takeaways from that is always that the second servant's debt is not insignificant. It's not nothing.
Yep.
It's not like he owed 10 cents. It was what was it, like $10,000 or something like that. It was an amount, and that characterizes the wounds against us as worthwhile. Like they're not inconsequential, the interpersonal wounds we've experienced. But I think it's sometimes so easy to minimize our weight of guilt before God because we know God is just, or it is forgiving and gracious and kind. And so we're like, God, of course, what you're going to do is to forgive me. When we forget that a sin against an eternal God is an infinite weight.
Yep.
And what Jesus has done on the cross was to forgive an infinite weight.
Yep.
Which is just absolutely incredible. And I think sometimes we minimize what Christ has done because we know that his character is forgiving.
Yeah. Well, I think, sorry, go ahead.
You were talking first.
I was going to say, I
had a thought in the middle of your sentence. So you keep going.
Well, I think that gives us a perspective as well of just how petty it can be at times when we struggle to find forgiveness in other people. And I think that's what we see kind of relate to this other servant is something so minute in comparison to what this other person owed. And they still made a huge deal about it. And I think it helps us present ourselves to other people in a different light when we have an understanding of what our sin actually is. And the account that we could have that we don't have because of a forgiving God.
Yeah, I guess my thought wasn't, I'm not going to piggyback on you, sorry. But my thought was on, sometimes we say, I wonder if our understanding of the weight of our sin is minimized, because I cringe sometimes when we say it's a free gift. Like this grace is free. It's super expensive, actually. We don't have to pay it. We can't. We could never pay it in the sense of this parable, in the sense of what Jesus is trying to communicate here. But it's not. It's super expensive, and it's we can take it as a gift, but in the sense of this parable too, it's not that it's not going to change us. It's free, but there's change that comes with it, right? So I think sometimes when we talk about this free gift, I'm like, it's just, I cringe a little. I'm like, what? We can receive it.
Yeah.
Freely.
It's free for us.
It's freely. We can receive it freely. But if that's all you do is receive it, then have you received it, because there should be life change that happens as well. And it was free to us. It was very expensive, actually.
Yeah.
That's Dietrich Bonhoeffer's The Cost of Discipleship.
Yeah.
And cheap grace is how we somehow times approach what Jesus did.
Yeah.
It was cheap, it's free, and so as a result, it demands very little of us.
Right.
But that's the untruth. That's the lie that gets shared there. And sometimes what it costs of us then is to forgive the wounds that have been done to us. And and John made that point really well, that forgiveness is expensive. It costs us a lot to release. I don't know how you'd even characterize it, but to release the woundings that have been done to us and to give them to God, to offer that forgiveness.
Yeah.
It's a heavy thing.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that, because forgiveness, I think John, in the 20 minutes that he had and in the context of this parable, really made a compelling argument for why forgiveness is a necessity, but at the same time, the heaviness and the difficulty of it. I think there was a good balance of the graciousness towards the person who needs to forgive, while also firmly saying you need to forgive. But how do we play this out in contexts where you have been wounded 70 times, 7 times? And the whole shame, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me concept.
Yep.
Wound me once, shame on you, wound me twice, shame on me for allowing myself to continue to be put in that circumstance. Wound me 70 times, 7 times. Like,
it's pretty deep wounds.
How do we handle that? Like, how do we make sense of that? Especially relationally. Like, if you talk to someone, you're like, I've had to forgive that person 70 times, 7 times. Like, why are you still like hanging around them?
Do you think that your spouses have not extended an extreme amount of forgiveness towards you?
I think my wife's had to forgive me like 3 times, maybe.
That's it, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
15
Well,
years.
thank God for Brian. He's got a very forgiving
Kayla's
heart.
racking up a book, man.
Brian has a very forgiving heart.
I guess it's, but what if it's in the same way, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's the same wound. And it's not like, what if it's an unrepentant wound?
Yeah, right.
Right?
Right.
And I know the church answers, but I want to process with friends here. So, You know what I mean? Like, the Bible answer is like, what if you have to marry a Gomer? How do you handle that?
I don't know, Dave. How do you handle that?
Colton's going to answer.
I don't know that I mean, practically, I think it takes time. I could give you the Bible answers too. I mean, what does Jesus say? What should we do? Forgive. But the reality is forgiveness is not an immediate response quite often. Like, it takes time. And wounds don't heal immediately either. And so even if forgiveness is a process and you get to a point of forgiving someone, not all of the damage that has been done is necessarily healed. And what that looks like can be very different depending on the situation. But oftentimes there's trauma related to distrust or being hurt that carries for a while. And I don't know. I mean, how you navigate that is a difficult thing to really do that with, because forgiveness, I think,
do
can
what
happen.
with for our listeners.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Put your finger on
Put
it.
your finger on it. Yeah. Sorry, I'm thinking of the viewers. But yeah, I think you can forgive and still be hurt, and I think there's a reality of like this ongoing sense of forgiving and honestly, like, even forgiving over and over and over again for the same thing.
I'm not sure
that hasn't even been repeated. It's
Right.
just like, it's like this hurt me and I've forgiven this person, and a week goes by and it's like, I'm angry at them again for the very same thing that they hurt me over the first time that I thought I forgave them for. And it's like this journey, and which is hard for me to like really say, this is exactly how you do it. I think in those moments where you realize that you're hurt and you know that that festering wound is coming back, and that you're pointing it at a person or a situation that you're angry with, it's forgiving again, and starting that process over again. And it does not mean that it won't come back, but it does mean that you have an opportunity to do as Jesus says and forgive. Does that make sense?
Yes. I think that it takes some parsing too. And in the midst of all of this, obviously I've not caveated this. In the first 3 I preached, and John didn't caveat this, but in relationships, safety is a priority. And so if there's unsafety,
so there's wisdom
get
that we
safe.
need to talk about here too.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of abuse or anything like that, none of that, you don't
John
forgive.
caveated that a little bit in first service.
Okay.
Yeah, he did.
Okay. That's good. But one thing I think I'm trying to wade through, pain is going to result in trauma. And forgiveness does not immediately release that trauma.
Yes, exactly.
But I think that when that trauma resurfaces is going to be almost always a time to re-up in forgiveness.
Yep.
Because I think that the way that trauma is going to surface is going to feel like unforgiveness. And I think you have to be aware of trauma responses, which are often physiological. They're often they're unrelated to how we're thinking. They're embodied trauma responses. But recognizing that one of the ways we spiritually respond, and some of our listeners, I'm sure, are better trauma informed. So if there's ways that we can refine this, please. But one of the ways that we can spiritually respond to trauma responses is in forgiveness, in an active act of forgiveness. And we said it last week too, that forgiveness is between us and God.
That's my next question is like, who is this all between?
Yeah.
Because forgiveness feels like it's an action that's between me and God, and it's releasing me from requiring payment from another person.
Yeah.
So there's a person that's involved, but it's really me saying, this is between me and God. We talked about making amends, and we talked about reconciliation too. And they're different. They're part of the same process. Not always the end. The end is not always reconciliation.
We can't reconcile a relationship until amends have been made.
Right.
But we can forgive in a relationship even without that reconciliation taking place. That's going to lead to a very difficult place in a marriage if one spouse has forgiven, but the other spouse isn't willing to make amends, unrepentant sin. Without being able to find that reconciliation, there's going to be that hurt that's going to hurt. But But the phrase festering wound is such a profound and pointed phrase because who is that festering wound hurting? It's hurting you.
Right.
And so the only way to find healing in it is to clean it through forgiveness and to allow the Holy Spirit to start providing healing there. But you also have to make sure it doesn't get rewounded.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm pushing that analogy too far, but
yeah. I think the when I was processing this in a walk, even this is in my own head, so here we go.
Great.
You process it with me out loud. The weight of forgiveness is on the unfortunate and hard thing is the weight of forgiveness is on the shoulder of the wounded often.
Yes. Yep.
So it's not.
That's a profound phrase,
right? It's I'm carrying it and it's holding me down. And when it's an act and I choose to forgive, I'm choosing to release that weight from me, and it actually has nothing to do with who I was wounded by.
Yeah,
it's what you're carrying. And back to that festering wound. Who's the festering wound in hurting? It's the wounded one. So I think that's hard to swallow. That you're both wounded and now you carry the weight of it.
Yeah. Well, and does it mean when you release that weight through forgiveness that you're not wounded? No. You're still wounded.
You've
just released the weight.
Yeah.
Yep.
You've just given yourself permission to heal too.
Yep.
And kind of a pathway forward in that.
Yeah.
But that does require wisdom in relationships then to be safe though too, and to guard your heart. Guarding your heart is not antithetical to forgiveness, is it? I can forgive someone but still be guarded against them because
because there's wisdom there. And particularly if you've forgiven, that doesn't mean that there's made amends or that there's even like a repentance that's happening. So I don't think forgiveness, I don't think that's an automatic, then we're in a relationship again and everything's fine. It doesn't mean everything's fine between us. It means everything. I am working with the Father on my heart of forgiveness and releasing this payment that's due to me. But no. You disagree?
No.
Your eyes are going all over the place.
I was thinking of something else. Okay. Sorry.
I think there's wisdom still in moving forward. And I think when we both feel the weight of this, like, what did you say? $10 trillion?
$10 trillion.
Is what we're owed. And
pocket change.
So when that weight of what we've been forgiven, we've been forgiven it not just so that we don't carry the weight, but we've been forgiven that so that we can enter into right relationship with God and with others, and that the end goal is reconciliation. I think a washed and cleaned wound allows you to say, I'm open to relationship again. Doesn't mean that you walk in willy-nilly. Particularly if it's unsafe.
The goal of this all is naked and unashamed, or fully known and unashamed, to be transparent. Like that's where a healthy relationship will be. And so guardedness feels like antithetical to that, but it feels like there's an awareness of sin. And that's where wisdom, I think, plays in. I guess I want to process this transparently, but especially in marriage contexts, I don't want anyone to hear, in order for me to be healthy in a marriage, I need to be guarded. But in some marriages, maybe that is the case. That's antithetical to the purpose of marriage, to be fully known and unashamed, which is the reality of sin.
What a hard spot to be in.
It's a spot that you can't be in alone. I'm just, hey, here we go. But I think one of my takeaways from this has been that there are wives in the congregation who are hearing, and there are husbands in the congregation who are hearing these things, and they need girlfriends and boyfriends to process with. They need community to process with, same gender community, that you can be fully known and unashamed, and you can not find a substitute for your marriage, but find a place to process and grow in, so that you can then grow in your marriage too. And I know I'm relating this primarily to marriage, and this series is broader than that. Yeah. But I think that there are some profound woundedness in marriage within our congregation. And I hope that that's a clear
And
call.
I think just for more clarity in that, you're not processing to gossip. You're not processing to slander. You're processing to find healing,
Mm-hmm.
and you're processing to find health and not continue to perpetuate a wound. Because I think, and so then choose your people carefully, who you're processing with, because I think that it could just be like, oh, can't believe you did that again, kind of thing.
I think you also need to process to be challenged and exhorted to forgive.
Yes.
Because there are times I think that unforgiveness lives in our hearts. It feels like bitterness or frustration. It might mask itself as guardedness. It's really unforgiveness. And good Christian friends will call one another out to forgive their spouse.
So what are some opportunities that we have for people to walk into relationships like that?
If only we had someone from group life here.
Yeah, I mean, groups are definitely a place to do that, but also that doesn't happen the first day you walk in.
It's
that
time.
maybe not even happen the first 2 years you walk in. So if you're, so if I'm being real frank, and you are right now hearing this, and you're like, I don't have community to process in, re-engage is actually the next best place for you first, because if you're trying to create community, community takes time to develop and to be fully known, like, and just to know one another, just to know one another's stories. I think it can happen quickly for some, but that has not been the main story that I've heard. It's just taken time. So I think re-engage is a fantastic resource for marriages that need to process things. But long term, a lot of those turn on the water heater. Sorry.
Little reminder.
Little reminder. It's a whole thing.
It's good to have that.
And I'm off the train. I think a lot of re-engage groups turn into groups afterwards because they've had such a incredible experience together, walking through some of the woundedness and calling each other to forgive and face some of the things that, because I think also wounds have been done to us, but also our own sin is a wound. Like that's what I picked up from Psalm 38 is David's like, I need to confess some stuff here, and I am feeling it in all parts of my body because it's just eating me away.
Yeah. So the things we do against others is also a bother to us.
Yeah.
Interesting.
DLGs, I think, are
and
another.
life groups.
Yeah.
DLGs are just same sex, like they're
Smaller.
more intimate. And probably because they're smaller and more intimate can get to the deeper things quicker.
Yeah.
Where a life group is longer, stays together longer than a DLG, but spans more.
More
of your
social
life.
at times. Yeah.
I think life groups are, forgive me for saying this, but they're like the creme de la creme of community. They can be, they're the goal. The goal of healthy community in a large church like this is to have a healthy life group, I think. That's going to be life-giving, transformational relationships, that sort of thing. But if you're starved for community, I think DLGs are a great place to start, which starts with groups basics.
Yeah.
But re-engage if you're married. Re-engage, whether you think your marriage is great or whether you think your marriage is really hard, re-engage is a really great place to process some things. It's going to force you to process with your spouse. I think that's 80% of the value is that you have to talk intentionally about things that maybe you've avoided talking about.
But it's also group-based, isn't it?
It's group-based. Yeah. And if you step into re-engage, just, a warning, you're going to be in a group processing kind of personal things with strangers to whatever your comfort level is. But what we've seen consistently, what we've heard from leaders consistently is the first 6 or 7 weeks, it's kind of awkward because you've talked about the content already individually and with your spouse. But then you come together and you're like, I don't know what I want to share here. And then what tends to happen week 6, 7, 8, 9, somewhere in there is that someone musters something up, shares something, and then the floodgates kind of open. And then suddenly everyone's like, oh my goodness. And then things that nobody else knows about these couples. And so that's why the community builds really quick after that.
And there's a very shared, focused vision for re-engage. It is very focused.
It's affinity based,
on marriage. So where a life group can take a little bit longer because you might have married, you might have singles, you might have a whole widowers, right?
Yep.
And not everybody's bringing the same thing, but everybody's got stuff.
Yep.
So it's not as focused, and sometimes it takes a little bit more time to tease that out and have somebody share vulnerably what's going on in their life.
But it's so important. If we're going to process through forgiveness, if we're going to process through our wounds, if we're going to process through just the reality of sin in our lives or sin that's been done to us or any of these aspects, we need community. We need people.
Enter into that space.
Yeah.
Just keep imagining Jesus walking to the cross and the sin poured out on him. And so prayer has been like, also this is, if you're walking through forgiveness, lean into prayer, lean into your Savior, who is, what did he experience? Like, we don't even fully know, right? And so it's not one that's far off from us, but he's close and he knows the depths of our pain. And so he can walk with you. So yes, lean into community, but also lean deeply into prayer.
Can you, like, I was just recording audio files for the Knowing the Living Gods, just processing some of this theology stuff. And the reality that my $10 trillion debt was satisfied like that on the cross. At the same time, your $10 trillion, and at the same time, your 10, these, and it's not even, it's an infinite.
It's a lot of trillions.
I would have spent eternity paying the weight, wearing the weight of my perpetual sin before God. And yet Jesus dealt with it like, oh, my God, why have you forsaken me? And then it is finished. In that moment, Jesus satisfies the wrath of God against my eternal debt. It's
amazing.
Absolutely incredible. Only God could have done that. God in Jesus, as Jesus, the God-man Jesus. So absolutely incredible.
And he didn't do it in just a blink. He did it walking through suffering and walking through wounds poured out on him. So he can draw close to you in your woundedness and help you heal them.
Yep.
So,
well, with this weighty and
are we lightening it up? Lightening it up.
Is there a game?
There's a game.
You guys didn't play it last week, so I don't know what it is.
No,
we didn't. Yeah,
we ran out of time. What happened?
It was heavy. It was heavy.
Yep.
This one is kind of too.
Yeah. But we're gonna lighten it up.
The bookends of
what are we doing?
What you got?
So before you get there, the bookends of this series are good. Come next week. Right.
Yes.
Come on Sunday.
Yeah.
This
is the invitation to intimacy.
Yes.
This is really good. So,
what's a word you can never spell correctly on the first try?
Oh, I know.
I feel like I have
rhythm.
Way too many words that I cannot spell correctly.
RHYTHM?
Yeah, there's no vowel. It's Y, but it's the sometimes.
Rhythm.
I'm so proud of my ability to spell rhythm.
Well done.
Available.
I still struggle.
I struggle with available too.
Available, I always misspell.
Yeah, I struggle with that one too.
Yeah, I'll have to go avail, VAIL, able. ABLE, but I always get it wrong.
The computer just helps me.
Mine's rhythm. Do you have one? Available is too?
Available is one. I probably have a lot, if I'm being honest. What else? I don't know.
Supralapsarianism?
Yeah, definitely. 1,000%.
I
Get that wrong
all the time. And
every time.
So, well, so.
Yep.
Well,
do you have an autocorrect story that like you spelled it right and you're autocorrect to something awful?
Yes.
It won't be shared out loud.
It won't be shared out loud.
We will hit the finish and then I'll hear that story.
Here's one more.
Okay.
What's your go-to comfort movie?
Golly.
Go-to comfort
Christmas
movie.
right now?
Yeah, it's Christmas right now, but it doesn't have to be Christmas. There's too many good Christmas movies. Again, the season is too short.
Yep.
So the trick is not to move it before Thanksgiving.
I don't know, man. By the end of December, I'm kind of done with the Grinch. So
yes.
Well, the Grinch. The Grinch is just not like the original is fantastic. The Jim Carrey one is absolute.
Yeah, Hadley's scared of that one.
Yeah, he's terrifying.
He's pretty scary.
Eats glass and
that's
terrible.
They added all these plot elements that just don't mesh.
Okay, so what's the go-to comfort movie?
And then the new Grinch movie, he's not even mean.
He's doing what I did.
He's real chill about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go with a Christmas movie. I'm just going to say, if I want to watch a fun movie, I'm going to watch Princess Bride.
Oh,
if I just want to
that's
relax.
a good one. You've never seen Princess Bride? Oh my goodness!
What?
I've only seen one Star Wars.
Oh,
we had a text conversation many years ago, and then you told me what order I'm supposed to have. And then I forgot.
Inconceivable.
And I was like, Dave, we're spending a whole weekend watching Star Wars, and then the TV stopped working.
Yeah, and you were actually happy for that.
I was like, hallelujah! I don't have to do this anymore.
I feel like Princess Bride. I feel like Princess Bride has to be a movie that you would enjoy.
You would like Princess Bride.
Oh, it's so good.
But I also don't want to set the standard like, I don't want to make it mythical.
Mhm.
It is the best movie, in my opinion, that has ever been made.
Comfort movie. Gosh, there's nothing popping. Like The Family Stone is my favorite Christmas movie, but I cry during it.
It's depressing. I don't know why people love it.
Stone.
My wife and daughter watched it last night.
Right.
So.
I think it has incredible family dynamics that are real.
It's just depressing.
Mine would have to be like a Pixar movie, like
Yeah.
Monsters, Inc. or Toy Story or something like that.
Did you hear that they're making a Toy Story 5?
Yeah.
What?
Like, how much more story can there be?
I remember watching an interview with this famous director, and he's like, I will never watch Toy Story 4. It was a perfect trilogy. I will never watch Toy Story 4.
Well,
it could be
there's
the best
4 and 5.
movie ever, but I will never watch 4 or 5 now.
But yeah, it's probably mine. My kids dictate most of my movies these days.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Right.
mm-hmm.
We just haven't watched movies for a
You
long
can't
time.
come up with one, Whitney.
I can't. No. I mean, so I probably would have said earlier in my life, The Sandlot, and then I watched it with my kid, and I was like, oh, there's a lot of like not great stuff in here.
Yeah.
Like they're calling each other names.
Oh yeah.
There's Wendy Peppercorn scene. Like there's all this.
Yep.
Like, okay, we need to let's talk about this. Pause the movie. This is so. I'm afraid to say something that would be like I watched as a kid and didn't watch through the eyes of a parent at this point.
Yeah.
Because Sandlot was that for me.
Yep.
Okay. Well, hey, this has been Cabin Conversations. We are on next week. Yeah, it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday, pre-Thanksgiving.
Yep.
We're good to go.
Question mark? I
We'll
think.
see you here next week, maybe. And then I'm really excited to start the Advent series. So it is a crazy time. But from our living room to yours, we're just going to try to invite everyone in. And this is for us too, to just slow down and enjoy the season and find some moments and reflect on the hope, joy, love, and peace that Christ brings.
It'll be really special.
Yeah. So
for sure.
we'll see you back next week. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.